Hi Psychic America, this is Tracy Brown coming to you today on 11/12/13. I know the date only because it's in sequence, 11/12/13. I had a dream last week and the dream was like, it was the time 11/12, and then I asked one of my psychic friends in my store here and I was like, what do you take from 11/12? And they were like, it's a date. Something's going to, happen on that date. And I was like, oh, okay. So here it is, 11/12, 11/12/13. Today, we're going to discuss Incognito. You meatball, Incognito, you're such a meatball. but I kind of like you, Incognito. I'm watching you do your interviews, and I'm watching you be really honest and straightforward and very giving of yourself, even though you're a big meatball. I actually kind of like you. And that's what's really important about my psychic readings. My psychic readings, they're not about anything specific. Sometimes I can have my own personal stuff about something. And if I do, I tend not to do that reading. Because I know I'm too, emotionally involved. Like with the Trayvon Martin case. I was too emotionally involved. And so I honestly feel like I just shouldn't have done those readings. Because too involved. But I tend to stay out of it. I keep myself out of it. And I try to look at both sides. And although I can't look, I think his name is Jonathan Martin. I hope I don't have the name wrong. Although I can't really look at Jonathan Martin's side because he's not talking. I can look at his pictures. And I can look at Incognito's side. I don't know his first name. Because he is talking. And gotta tell you, people, I kind of like what he's trying to say. Like, I get it. I get it. I get it. I get it. I get that the atmosphere for new rookies is a little bit frat boyish. I get it. I totally get it. And so, with that being said, I'm not sure if I'm going to blame Incognito for everything that's been going down. I'm going to blame the NFL. That big organization, almost as big as the government, the NFL. That's where I think the real problem, the dialogue, the atmosphere, has been well established probably since the beginning of time. So, I'm going to check into Incognito to see what his future's going to look like. What's his future going to look like now that he has this scandal over his head? Talk to me. What's Incognito's future going to look like? Please, God, please help me with this question. Jesus, I may pray. Amen. While I do that, let me also tell you that I work at a Degree Man store. You can reach me at 818-985-2010. 818-985-2010. And you can also Skype me now. And my Skype name is Psychic Tracy Brown. So go ahead and I guess friend me. I don't know what you do on Skype. I'll accept, and then we'll have dialogue to discuss Skype readings. Oh, my Skype readings are only for 15 minutes. So once again, I work at the Green Man store. Oh, you can actually check out my Yelp reviews. I have really good Yelp reviews out of the Green Man store. 818-985-2010. Call me for your own personal readings because most of my readings come out accurate. Oh, and by the way, somebody mentioned that Mel and Ree's reading was wrong, blah, blah, blah. Give it time, people, because I just posted yesterday that Tom Cruise admitted that the divorce was over Scientology. Heard it here first. Didn't come out for over a year. See? Oh well, I'm always mostly right. Incognito, what's going to happen to you now that this scandal has hit? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You know what my wish is for you, Incognito, even before I tell you about the cards? My wish is that this crap goes away for you. That's my wish for you, to be honest with you. I don't think you deserve this. I really don't. I'm not getting it. I'm not getting it for you. So I wish... One thing about sports. Sports is very forgiving. If you can bring Michael Vick back and be very forgiving about that, Sports America, Incognito can be forgiven for an atmosphere that he did not create. Damn it. Just ripped one of my cards. So sad. These things cost so much money. Oh well. So, let's take a look. Last card. Oh man. It's going to make you a better man, Incognito, that's for sure. It's going to make you a much better man. Wow. It's going to make you a better man. Let's just start there. There's a huge lesson that's being learned here personally, on top of maybe being used as an example. You know, for the face of bullying. Not done yet, so, you know, walk me through this, people. I am getting that there could be a loss. There could be a loss. I'm getting, you know, this job that you had was the best job ever. Like, you absolutely loved your job. I'm getting that your destiny will be rewritten. I'm getting that this is transformative. This, you know, we're going to hear from you in like a year or 18 months, and I promise you, you're going to say, who would have thought this would have been the best thing that could have ever happened to you, this scandal. So let me check my tarot cards. Incognito. Some odd cards here. So let me see what I'm getting psychically. Give me a second. I don't know if I'm going to be right or wrong here. Sometimes I worry about what I have to say. I'm not a sports person, so it's really hard for me to like not know sports and do this at the same time. But I do feel like there's going to be a loss here. I do. I think it's with the Raiders or something like that. I think, you know, I see you trying really hard to clean this up. I think there'll be several more interviews coming out of this. I would say there's a loss here, Incognito. And I feel really, really bad for you. I feel like there's... I know that you're avoiding the apology part of it. And I have to tell you, I think that if you would just apologize, it might be more forgiving. Like, you might be able to salvage this if you would apologize. I don't think it's your fault. I think it's the face of the NFL. I think they're going to have some restructuring. But I also believe that because you're dealing with big government, not big government, big business, sort of like the government, you're taking a fall that's going to be absolutely necessary for the bigger part of everyone's income. So, and what I mean by that is that this is about the NFL and you. It's no longer about you and Jonathan Martin. It becomes like, I feel like the Raiders are going to say, we love you. Like, we love you. And this is not anything we want to happen, but you have to go. I see you in a lot of pain. I get 2 cards that tells me this is heartache and loss. That means you're in a lot of pain right now, but loss is coming. And the 3 of Swords kind of means like it pierced to the heart. Like, it's so much pain that you couldn't even imagine this type of pain. Particularly from a company or a business that you absolutely loved. I don't know if you've lawyered up yet. It's kind of dumb if you don't at this point, because at least there should be a settlement agreement or something like that to allow you to leave with some income to finish out your contract. Usually I tell people if you talk too much, that's part of the problem. With you, Incognito, it certainly is not about you talking too much. I find you endearing when you talk. I actually like you more. I'd like to hear more from Jonathan Martin. I think there's a soft side to Jonathan. And I'm also getting that there was some sort of language with Jonathan from somebody else, from one of the male NFL big leagues at Raiders, that kind of suggested to Jonathan that he may not have a real future with them. And I do feel like that this may have been more calculated on Jonathan Martin's side than getting to the breaking point, which is two different things. I think it was more calculated because he realized there was not a career to be had. Now, I don't know if you have a family, Incognito. I don't know if you have a family, so I'm not sure if this is about protecting your family, this card, and foundations and achievements, which falls in my past position in my other deck, but shows up in my future card. If it is about family, it is certainly about salvaging what remains financially for your family. If it's not about you personally having a family, then it is about, like, who is your next baseball family going to be? I believe you're going to be out with the Raiders. This is another card. Something's lost, meaning Raiders. However, something still remains. Something's lost. That's what those cups mean. Water spilled. Something still remains, which is these two cups, which tells me that there's certainly going to be another team that will take you on in spite of this conflict that you're going through right now. Incognito, at some point, I was going to say that at the very least, talking about this whole Jonathan Martin thing is healthy, particularly for you. And the Old Boys Network, they're really going to have compassion for you. But at some point, there's going to be some talks about where you're going to go next. Shut it. Shut it. You don't need all that energy put on where you're going next. Just sign the contract and then make the big announcement. This is really, really, really big legal. Big, big, big legal. I think you have the right to go after the NFL. Or the Raiders. Maybe not the NFL. Maybe you should go after the Raiders. Because I don't know if I was heard that there was some authorization to toughen up Jonathan Martin. Foundations are really big here. It's another card about family and foundation. Were you supposed to get married, or are you married? I'm a little confused by that. And is that rocking your livelihood, your foundation? If it's not about your family, which, by the way, if you're married, your family will survive. If you're not, then it's about the team that you're with. That becomes your family, which is what I really think it's about. Incognito. I feel like the Raiders is no longer able to keep you on without the tarnishment of the word bully and Raiders going together. I feel like you're going to have to get released because it's going to be absolutely necessary for you to own this. My heart goes out to you because I'm not that happy with Jonathan Martin. I certainly think it could have been handled better. And at the very least, if it couldn't have been handled between you two, then he could have taken it to management. Then there's just steps that could have been taken so that this domino effect isn't in place so quick, so fast. You will get a new family. And ironically, it's just the way your destiny was always meant to be. I keep going back to marriage or family. If you're not married right now, and I don't do my homework, so I didn't check, then this is also about truly learning to be that real man. Not that football meatball, although I think you're adorable, but that real man that stands up and says, oh my God, I would have never allowed myself to look this way.
So if you're not married, this includes the next place that you go to is where you will find